let me give you a very brief outline of what some of them are, and let's just set aside whether or not the commission in itself is unfairly targeting Israel or not. It very well may. I'm not making an argument on either side of that. But what it accuses Israel of doing is, occupation, de facto annexation, forcible displacement. In other words, things that are very similar, if not the exact same, as what you accuse Russia of doing in Ukraine. Just last week, both the United States and Israel voted in support of a resolution condemning Russia for these things. And so I'm wondering how you square the two, whether the commission itself, the creation of the commission, is unfair or not. The allegations that it's making are very similar to allegations that you say are credible and true in the case of Russia and Ukraine. And so what's the difference?
First, Matt, when it comes to the report that was just released, again, we will go through it. We will go through it carefully and thoroughly, and we can offer more feedback on the specific assertions at that time. So I'm not going to go into the specific assertion, but what I will note is that we categorically reject the blanket comparison between the actions of the Kremlin, Russia in this case, that has launched and waged a brutal war of aggression against another sovereign state, a sovereign state that posed and poses no threat whatsoever to the Kremlin, a military campaign that whose toll can be measured in thousands upon thousands of lives lost, a campaign that has been condemned, as you alluded to, by countries around the world, 141 countries in the case of the March vote in the UN General Assembly, 143 countries in the case of the annexation that Moscow recently announced and attempted with the 4 regions in sovereign Ukrainian territory. Matt, when it comes to the conflict between Israelis and Palestinians, this administration believes deeply in a 2-state solution. It has been at the core of the approach that successive American administrations have taken to this conflict. We believe that only through a negotiated 2-state solution can we arrive at a situation where we can have what really is our ultimate goal, and that is a reality in which Israelis and Palestinians alike enjoy equal levels of security, of prosperity, of opportunity, of democracy, and crucially of dignity. And that's something we're working towards.
Right, but the Palestinians and their supporters will argue that what you accuse Russia of doing in Ukraine in terms of war of aggression is very similar to what is going on in the occupied West Bank. And so I guess I'm trying to find what you find is different, because obviously Russia contests those allegations that you make against it, whether they're right or not. Israel contests the allegations that are being made against it in this report and by others, including human rights groups that you cite repeatedly when it comes to Ukraine, when it comes to Iran, when it comes to other places. Is the difference that Ukraine is a sovereign state, in your view, and that Palestine is not?
That is a key difference. You point to some of what critics are saying. Look, no country is or should be immune from criticism. That, of course, includes Israel. Some of the criticism that we've heard, and we've, of course, offered our own over the course of recent months, is justified. Much of it is not. And so when you point to comparisons and criticisms, I think it is important to take a step back and to recognize the profound differences between those two situations. You mentioned one of them, and it is a paramount difference.
Well, listen, it's not me, it's me. The chairwoman of the Commission of Inquiry.
There are many assertions. There are many assertions around the world that are made.
She is the one who pointed out that just last week, 143 countries, including the United States and Israel, voted to condemn Russia for its actions. Not me. So sorry if you.
I know,
I'm repeating the point that she has made. I'm not-
you're asking the question and I'm making the points.